Yo, what's up, guys? You got PokeaimMD here with the next week's MBL team builder. We're actually on my channel again this week because we didn't have a Wi-Fi battle on Emvee's channel, but we did have a PS Live that you guys should check out. But the Wi-Fi battle will be on Emvee's channel this week. Speaking of which, I have him here with me. You can say hi.
Popping, guys, we are back. You're ready to cop a W. I'm ready to cop a W. I'm just telling you that right now.
Yeah, Emvee hasn't won a battle on his week in I think three weeks for him. I think or 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think our two losses are on your side, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Speaking of losses, by the way, there was like a little bit of I think dispute or whatever about the tie. So the final verdict of last week's game ended up being that we won. So we, instead of being 5-2-1, we were actually 6-2, which means that we are also back again in the run for potentially being number one. Obviously,
yeah, like we're pretty much guaranteed now. Like because we're 6-2, we're pretty much guaranteed to be in playoffs.
Yeah. So like, if Drinking Birds loses and everybody else continues to lose, we can still get number one as well, which means that we get like a bye week and stuff like that, which would be cool.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's about us winning the whole league. So I don't care if we're the sixth place team struggling for it. It's about winning the whole league and having fun as well. That's also super important. So
exactly.
This week the team builder again is on my channel, and the battle will be on Emvee's channel tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. This should be going up Friday, so the battle should be up on Saturdays on Emvee's channel. So we're facing my boy Luke and Callum. So Game Boy Luke and Hoodlum Scrafty, and their team is actually like, it has some threats that are definitely annoying for us, like Mega Lucario. If it's
Mega Lucario
special,
is a huge threat.
Yeah, if it's special, it's ridiculous. Just adaptability boosted close combats. Even with the Papa Berry and Arcanine's Intimidate the Papa, it's still like not the best for Jackie. And a special variant is also pretty threatening. Clefable with Follow Me is annoying because we hate fighting redirection. The good thing is this redirection mon is weak to Celesteela, which we're definitely bringing. So that's one good thing. They have Fake Out support and Him on top. They have mons that can't be flinched like Crobat. Raikou can definitely be a giant threat since it can deal with a lot of
It can snarl, it can run Calm Mind,
exactly.
It can do a lot of offensive things that can be annoying for our team.
And then they have like Pokemon like Seismitoad, which can stop Arcanine in its tracks and things like that. But and Mew, which we have no idea what the hell it wants to run. It's a Mew, so it can run whatever it wants. But yeah, the first mon we have is Little Jackie, or actually no, this is not Little Jackie. This isn't the UCL.
Hello?
My bad. This is Jackie. This is full-grown Jackie. My bad.
This is your mama.
Yep. We have defensive Arcanine, mainly focused on physical defense because that lets us take on a physical Mega Lucario better, while we naturally can take on Aura Sphere, which is just naturally weaker than close combat. Obviously, Intimidate helps as well. This can also sponge hits from Druddigon, being a fire resist for Typhlosion, checking Shift Tree, can Will-O-Wisp Druddigon. Can take on Crobat. Being physically defensive is just better, I think, in this matchup because we naturally, just by typing alone, can wall their special attackers like Clefable and Typhlosion. Even though Typhlosion does wall us as well, but we beat it 1v1 with Snarl, plus our team support. And as well as just being physically defensive with Intimidate helps us burn things, Will-O-Wisp. Snarl's really nice. We actually have a speed tier that lets us be faster than our entire team outside of Raichu. And the idea is just being able to snarl first and not let our other Pokemon take hits. Like, basically just weaken the special attack of our opponent before our other Pokemon have to take a hit. Heat Wave hits Lucario, Clef. It basically hits everything on their team unless they're running like Flash.
Especially if they have like Follow Me on one side.
Plus Lucario. Yeah, exactly.
Heat Wave is just great in order for us to hit both sides. And if they like have let's say for instance they have like a Wide Guard Hitmon top and then they have Lucario, we obviously can't go for Heat Wave, but then we do have a Wisp which can hit Lucario if their Swords dead.
Exactly. So like it's a 50-50 as well because him on top obviously can only Fake Out. It can't Follow Me or anything like that. So if they get Wi-Fi, we can always Will-O-Wisp there and deal with it. But yeah, Arcanine just there to sponge hits. I pop a berry. That way this boy gets some health when it gets low because Arcanine can take
girl, dude. It's a girl, not a boy.
It's girl.
You called your mama a boy.
I'm sorry. This girl can take hits from like maybe like a random banded Druddigon or like which would be weird, especially because Outrage doesn't have a target. It go like everywhere. But yeah, Arcanine just naturally sponges hits from them. Defense investment just take on Lucario. And then the rest is just put into Spadef and a little bit of speed. So, you want to talk about Comfy, bro?
Yep, so we're bringing back Comfy once again. This Pokemon here is a top top threat. It's
Dude,
just so good.
I feel like it came off the bench after like the first half of the season. Like in the first half, we never used Comfy, right? The only thing it did was get
Right.
off a little bit of chip maybe on Savali in the battle versus We Disney. But after that, like this Mon, like we've been seeing
been
the
putting
light.
in that
It's been really putting in work, man. It's got a sweep on its own. And Arcanine plus Comfy are just so good together. Unfortunately, we're thinking, even though they would be really nice on opposite sides, during like, and we just said that Comfy plus Suicune do a lot better because Suicune puts in a lot of work versus them as well. And just being able to automatically heal Suicune with Floral Healing is pretty cool. But if you want to talk about the set, you can.
Yeah, like I noticed how like Joey was saying, Suicune actually puts in a lot of work versus their team, and if it has that healing support that Comfy provides with Floral Healing,
It'll never
especially
die.
like Pokemon that we have on this team really appreciate it. It's just so useful, like as a move in terms of healing up our side of the team, and it just does really well versus them by able to set up Calm Mind. I mean, like stuff like Crobat and what else? I guess Typhlosion kind of wall it, but either way, it's still really good for what it does, and we have other Pokemon to deal with that. Now, I'm running like I changed up the EV spread too. What were you gonna say?
It was
first?
just max defense. I was going to say, especially because of the fact that Triage makes Dreading Kiss higher priority than like Bullet Punch or Extreme Speed. So
Exactly, yeah, and yeah, like the priority with Comfy is so nice, especially if they like, I don't know, if they bring because if they have a faster team, which is exactly what they have, it's just nice in order to get off like faster hits on Pokemon, especially like Raikou, which is
yeah, because we got a
huge
bunch of
threat.
tick. Yeah, exactly.
And I was playing around with Comfy and actually noticed that if I like don't put any HP into it, Draining Kiss like literally heals you
Yeah,
up
it heals
so
a lot
much.
more. It hits so much. Like I think going max defense is a lot better too because you can still take maybe like you could switch it into like a close combat from Lucario pretty not easily, but like you could Draining Kiss after. Could take weaker hits from like Shift Tree on the physical side. Can even take hits from Crobat unless it's like Poison Fang or anything like that, or Cross Poison rather. And
Yeah.
it's just better in the long run as well for sponging Earthquake, which we do have on 2 Pokemon. So it's just better.
Yeah,
for
overall,
Comfy.
it's just a really nice Mon versus them, and it gives us like a good amount of team support so that if a Mon gets too weak, and especially since like Pokemon hard hitters such as like Lucario and things are gonna be doing like literally like 75% each time
Yeah,
in close combat
always,
without even having to
always.
set up. So
Yeah.
I know. So it's
Comfy's
just nice
so
to be able to
nice.
have some kind of healing control there. Yeah, HP control.
Yeah, and Life Orb is just, I think, worth it. It gets up a little bit more damage versus Druddigon, Lucario. Raikou even at +1. We could take a hit from Raikou, and we're doing almost 50% back with Draining Kiss. Like, it's just smart.
Yeah,
And it
like
also checks Shift Tree and things like that. So
Yeah, with the move that has like healing potential, like it's always like nice to run Life Orb since you don't really lose much from the Life Orb recoil. You get it back from Draining Kiss, so that's cool.
Exactly. And it's just full on support. Synthesis is nice for self-healing, which would be in a position if they have like Clefable versus like 2 bulky mons that can't kill us, so like Clefable and like Shift Tree. Shift Tree ain't bulky, but like
Yeah.
Clef plus Mew or something would be cool as well. And Comfy just supports the team a lot. Like I've been taking on the role a lot this season, or at least in the later half, as just more of a support for Emvee. Emvee been taking the offense for the most part. We might switch it up a couple times. You guys might have noticed that though. But I love Comfy in this game because it just heals so well. Like Pokemon like Celesteela and Suicune, which put in a lot of work versus their team, by the way. So speaking
Yeah,
of Suicune,
and we had like synthesis
Oh,
for like draining, for healing up ourselves. I think we forgot to mention that. I was thinking of running, or we were thinking of running like some kind of coverage on it or something, but we found that synthesis was just nicer in order because Comfy's role as a healer on the team is just so vital. So having
Yeah.
that around for a while is good.
Exactly, and like the only other coverage we'd have would be like Hidden Powered Rock, which would hit Crobat and Typhlosion. The only thing that Draining Kiss doesn't hit, but it's not going to do any damage anyway. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have priority as well. Like Comfy's strong points are the fact that it has that priority healing and that really, really high priority healing too. And the fact that it can also boost. Like Calm Mind is the only slow move this Pokemon has, and Comfy is just naturally like we didn't focus on putting speed on our Pokemon because they have like a really slow bar that they hit, and then they have just like Pokemon that are just so fast, like Mega Lucario hitting 350 speed, Raikou hitting 355 speed, excuse me, on Mega Lucario.
Yeah.
Raikou hitting,
like 361, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
361, and then base 100 mons and stuff like that. So we didn't think it was really necessary to put speed on it, just because we get that priority healing, and we're focused more on tanking the attacks and then knocking them out after. So next mon we have is Suicune, and again, this Pokemon is just so good versus them. Like I said, we didn't really focus on putting any speed. We hit just enough, that way we're faster than maybe like a speed invested Seismitoad that might be like 208 speed or something for Suicune. We're all faster than that. Also faster being the most Clefables, most Druddigons. things like that. And after that, again, they have the base 100 mons and higher, so there's no real point. But we're going to be fasting the hitmounts off for the most part, Seismitoad for the most part, unless they're running a lot of speed. And it was just mainly focused in modest nature, max special attack, because +1 hidden power grass does 100% to Seismitoad, max HP Seismitoad. Scald hits everything else, and then Protect, Calm Mind. You couple that with Floral Healing, and the rest was just put in the HP to take hits. Like, it can take a close combat from Lucario, knock it out with +1 Scald after the defense drop. Comfy can boost it back up with the Floral Healing. Like, Suicune just takes hits and also gives us a fire resistance.
It does so well. It does so well versus them, and like I doubt they're gonna bring something like Shiftry, which would wall this kind of coverage, or even like I guess even Druddigon for that matter, which doesn't really matter too much because if we have healing paired with Suicune and like Scald burns,
yeah, exactly. Our own Dragon type, Will-O-Wisp, Snarl, even Comfy's Draining Kiss, like it's fine. Suicune just does so well versus them, I think.
Yeah, it's literally all we need, and like the only kind of coverage move we would need is something for Seismitoad, which naturally is able to, you know,
absorb
recover like his health. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, from Scald.
You want to talk about Celesteela?
Yeah, so Celesteela here is another Pokemon that it just works so well versus them because looking at it right now, it destroys their Follow Me user, which I mean, like, as you'd already know, like we've had many encounters with redirection here.
Both
so
on Emvee channel.
I know, both on my channel. Go ahead and check them out. But having a Pokemon that actually destroys like a Follow Me user probably in one hit because we were max attack with Heavy Slam, so I'm pretty sure that just pops Clefable.
It does.
That's just so nice to keep, and like the coverage that we have Assault Vest, so we can actually sponge hits better from like a Raikou and things like that, and even like a potential special Lucario.
Yeah,
and of course Clefable in general, yeah. And it just hits like really hard, especially since we're gonna get Beast Boost from every Pokemon we knock out in the attack stats. So Heavy Slam, Earthquake. I mean, Heavy Slam, of course, being able to hit literally like Clefable, Mew, Hitmontop, Crobat. I guess also maybe Druddigon and Shiftry, and then we have like Earthquake that can hit Raikou, which could be a threat, or even Lucario, because I'm pretty sure
it's good for like Follow Me as well.
Yeah. Exactly, it's good for Follow Me as well because it can hit both sides, and you know, Flamethrower is cool because it in case of a wide guard, we'll still have like an actual move to hit.
Yep. Yeah. Also, if we have like Arcanine paired, we don't always have to go for Protect. It's just a good single target one, and
right. And then Giga Drain's just another way of dealing with Seismitoad, just in case you know, Suicune goes down too early.
Yeah, exactly. Also helps just support Suicune in general. With Assault Vest, we take hits from Raikou, we take hits from Typhlosion, and we can take hits from Special Lucario. And we can naturally take one close combat from a physical Lucario, so that's good.
Yeah, and with Comfy healing it up, like, you already know.
Yeah, this mon is healing it, so like,
it's gonna be alive.
Yeah, exactly. One thing we could have done, sorry if you guys keep hearing my chair move, but one thing, you definitely hear it, by the way. One thing we could have done was made our Celesteela, like, have speed investment for Clefable, because Clefable hits 156. But I don't think there was a point because Clef is more than likely going to be support. If it's a Calm Mind, it's not going to do crap anyway because we have an Assault Vest. Heavy Slam is going to blow it away. And like Emvee said, we have the Floral Healing. So
yeah, like, it doesn't really matter if we're like slower or faster than it or anything because we're going to have the healing support. So like regardless, Clefable is not going to be doing anything to this thing.
Exactly. So next up we have Pancakes over here, a Alolan Raichu. And love this mon. I really have been liking this mon a lot. It helps so much with setup. Like, love it as a lead, love it in general. The fake out is just so good, and Nuzzle. We have Psyshock, Nuzzle, Protect, and Fake Out. So this set is walled by Shiftry, but again, we're fine versus Shiftry, we feel, and we don't really expect them to actually bring that versus us because we have a lot of mons that can deal with it. But we're just enough speed to outspeed their base 100 Mew, and after that, and as well as Typhlosion. After that, we didn't really need the rest of the speed because Raikou's always going to be faster. Lucario is going to be faster if it's Jolly max speed. So we dump the rest in the special attack and just the rest into attack. So our Fake Out just does a little bit more, or our Nuzzle just does a little bit more. Really respect Nuzzle on this guy. You have to respect Nuzzle on Raichu because a lot of games have gone differently when we paralyzed our opponents. And the fact that, again, our Pokemon are so bulky as well. Like, Nuzzle just supports them so well, being able to paralyze everything outside of Seismitoad or Raikou. And Psyshock is there because it does hit Raikou as well. Seismitoad does about 30%, I want to say, to Raikou, which is good chip. Definitely good chip.
Yeah, solid chip damage. And just being able to, like, paralyze stuff like the Mew or the Lucario or even the Typhlosion or anything like that. Just
so good.
It doesn't matter. Like, anything Nuzzle hits, it's going to be useful because, like, as you already know, our team is rather slow. We're not trying to be faster this time around. And I guess Nuzzle all around just kind of helps in terms of just speed control and us even being able to have a chance to be faster than certain months.
Exactly. Agreed. And like it's just so good for our next mon, obviously, because we do have Garchomp. And the great thing about Raichu is like Raikou is definitely a threat on their part, like easily a threat. We can't run Choice Scarf on our Garchomp because we are locked into Garchompite. That's something you guys might have probably figured out right now. We don't always have to Mega Evolve, but we are locked into Garchompite, so we can't have something like that to revenge kill Raikou. So just faking it out and giving something like Suicune the opportunity to set up, or Arcanine the opportunity to burn it, or even Garchomp the opportunity to even Earthquake. We do have Focus Sash, plus Protect as well for potential Earthquakes. It just works out in our favor. And do you want to talk about Garchomp and why we have no
Right.
speed and
So
stuff?
exactly right. So we're running a Garchomp here without any speed. We were mainly focusing on bulk because of the fact that, like we said at the beginning of the the session of the building, that their team is pretty extreme. Like they have a lot of low speed Pokemon, they have a lot of higher speed Pokemon that we can't really sort of benchmark Garchomp with. So we just decided to run a very bulky Swords Dance set, which is nice because it's able to, like, it can take a hit from Clefable's Moonblast. It can take like an HP Ice from like Specs Raikou, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It just does like a good amount in terms of being able to sponge hits while still setting up, and especially versus a team that they have, which are like, it's comprised of a lot of different hard hitters like Lucario and things like that. So we definitely want Garchomp to have a good amount of survivability. And I mean, like, Dragon Claw Earthquake literally hits everything on their team. It does so much work. And I mean, look at this thing's attack. With Swords Dance, it's going to be doing a lot of damage to literally like every Pokemon on their team. So we figured that this was a good option, especially also since we were thinking that we were going to keep Garchomp on my side, which also would have two Pokemon that are like electric weak. So having a ground type would be nice in case you want to shuffle around like Raikou's T-Bolt, things like that.
Exactly, yeah. And like Emvee did say, our Garchomp can take HP Ice from Raikou, can take an Ice Punch from Lucario, always if it's Jolly, if it's Adamant, it's a roll that's in our favor. And Dragon Claw just threatens Druddigon, Shiftry, as well as like we can take an Ice Punch from Seismitoad. So, and then just being our natural Garchomp, we are at least in unmegaed form, we are faster than bulky Mew, 0 speed Mew. So that's just one thing that Garchomp also hits. But again, just focusing on offensive on this mon, and with the para support and the fact that this mon pairs well with like Comfy just healing it up, or Arcanine going for having the Intimidate and then just being able to protect around. Like, I feel like just Garchomp was the best bet. Like, we also had Buzzwole, but I don't know. They have Mew, Clef, a special Mega Lucario. They have Hitmontop to get off Intimidate, Crobat. Like, they have so much for Buzzwole. I don't know.
Yeah, we were thinking of like we were trying out a lot of different things for this last lot. We felt Garchomp was the best. Like, I guess like also like Malamar or something to consider, since it could potentially like set up Trick Room, or maybe you could do some work with like Contrary, like Superpower versus stuff.
Yeah.
But we figured that this was probably our best bet in terms of putting in the most work with what we had, like especially with Comfy healing things up.
Exactly. But yeah, the battle's gonna be on Emvee's channel. Go ahead and check him out. His link will be down below, as well as check out our opponents. Their links will be down below. Like I said, it should be up at 3 p.m. Eastern. I think that's when we get them up every week. And yeah, I hope you guys look forward to the MBL versus Team NotScald versus Team Subs. Hopefully, we can get a win.
Get a win. The journey to playoffs is over. Now it's really the journey to number one.
It's also the journey just getting a win on MB's channel too.
Oh yeah, it's the journey to getting a win on my channel too.
Yeah,
let's hope that we can do that.
It's been a minute, but yeah, you have anything else to say, MB?
Yeah, check me out. Help support your boy, and let's cop another W here. And yeah, you all are awesome.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye.